What?
Why a single one didn't go through here?
They've been over there. They were over there yesterday, eating the grass as it comes up. I should probably close that off so the grass grows. Hey, buddy.
Hi. This that boy.
Hi, little
You
man.
can tell he's to your shirt. That's the baby he got born.
Yeah.
You tell it's him if he chews your shirt, because he said it was for his mom. And he also lets you pet him.
Yeah, he's a friendly guy.
Yeah, but he said it was for his mom too.
Alright, come here. You need that bucket of dirt. And you need these. And we need some of these gangly tiger melons. So these tiger melons got way too lanky because I forgot to put them underneath the light after I seeded them. So we're going to transplant them so that they can grow properly. So we're going to take these pots. I think these are 3-inch pots, peat pots. And then you take one of these. This is going to be the tricky part, is not breaking them when we take them out of here because they probably don't have a lot of root structure. I'll pull it out for you anyway. Oh, uh-oh. Yeah, see? Broke him. He doesn't have any roots. Hang on.
How do you do this?
Very carefully. There we go. We got one. I'm going to plunk it down in there with no dirt to start. And then I want you to fill him up. Fill him up with dirt.
The hell am I?
Just use your hands. You can wash your hands after. We'll spray it with the hose. Sissy, can you help?
Spray me with the hose. Afterwards.
Okay. Fill him with dirt. Good job. We'll try to get him a little upright, so put it right there. Yep. We gotta be a little gentle with him, but firm, because we want him to stand upright. All right, keep going. All the way to the top. Okay, we don't want him to bend over too much, so we'll hold him upright while we fill him up. Okay. Good job, thank you. I don't think they feel like gardening today. That's okay. I get it, these tiger melons, that's a little better. Still a little lanky, but better than it was, way better than it was. It'll grow better now because it can face upwards towards the sun. So if you accidentally get some leggy plants, you can just up pot them like this. And it works fairly well to point them back towards the sun so that they can grow properly. You're just kind of securing them upright a little bit. And they should grow fine from here. And these things that I'm transplanting are tiger melons. Pretty cute. My gardening was cut short because I needed to help my sheep shearer wrangle everybody, and that took a little while. One, because I switched my flock's shearing rotation. I used to shear my sheep, now I only ever had a couple at a time, but I used to shear my sheep every fall. And I didn't love that because they would get really cold going into our winters here. And they'd be really hot all summer. So that didn't make any sense to me. So I switched them to a spring, which means they kind of went like a year and a half without being shorn, which isn't like detrimental, like by any means. But it did make them like, they were kind of greasy and they were very floofy. And my shearer, which is a good friend from work, she's actually still learning. So all around it was kind of difficult. But everybody's done shearing your sheep. This is the first like full like almost 2 years of me owning the same sheep. And it's only like 2 of them out there. The rest of them I just brought in a couple months ago. But shearing your sheep is like a huge ego bust because it really opens up, it forces you to evaluate your conditioning and your flock health, and it really just lays everything right out in front of you. It's very clear who's struggling, who's not struggling, if you're missing key points in your animal husbandry and your nutritional program. So definitely a couple things that I need to address, but overall I'm not like upset with like my first full year with like the same couple of sheep and then some brand new ones. We'll fix the things that need to be fixed, and you know, both of us just spent the last 2 hours learning a lot. So it was a long 2 hours. The sun is very hot today, so we were sweaty and tired, but that's okay. I have an iced coffee. It is that time of year. But I'm gonna put some honey garlic butter on this pork roast, close it back up because I'm starting it a little late here. I should have started it honestly like a couple hours ago. I'm gonna have to cook it quicker than I want to, but it's definitely the time of year to start grilling stuff, so that's what we're doing. Got a little, it's just a small pork roast here on the grill. I need to get back to planting because I really want cucumbers. We have a plant sale here in 2 weeks, and I really would like some cucumbers and some lettuce starts to sell, and to which 2 weeks is plenty of time to start those things and sell them. They'll be huge in 2 weeks. So I want to go get those started real quick before the end of the night, and Paul's going to be home soon, and I know when he gets home he wants to reseed the lawn, so that will take priority once he gets in. I think I got a good sunburn. You guys see that? Yikes. I have it on my arms too. I should probably put sunblock on next time. Oh yeah, my face is good and burnt. The sun is hot today. I am one of those people that burns and then goes back to white. My arms tan pretty good and my face does tan a little bit, but the rest of me, my legs, they burn, they hurt, I get sick, and then they go back to white. It's just how I am. Evening, Fern. Don't you guys love that she knows her name? So we are dealing with a race against that weather that's coming. I need to get a bunch more seeds planted before it rains for the next 2 days, and also I need to fix this dilemma I've got going on here. So this is the row of beets and onions that I showed you guys. So what's happening here is I didn't mulch it at all like I did the rows over here. So what's happening is the rain is coming down. Yes, I'll be right over. The rain is coming down. It's sinking underneath, and on top, where the seeds actually are, is staying pretty darn dry. So the germination on this isn't great, and this is why soil health and mulching is important. So I'm glad I did this so I can kind of show this to you guys, show you my mistake, show you how to fix it. I'm going to go ahead and mulch all 3 rows real lightly because you still want those seeds, when they come out of the ground, to be able to get to the light. But this is going to retain moisture. All the rain that goes in this weekend is going to be retained in there. And then Monday afternoon, I'll come out and I'll start poking around. And if they're all coming through the ground, I'll uncover them a wee bit with the mulch, give them a more light so that they can come up, you know, and reach the sunlight. But so that is the dilemma at hand. We've got to get this done. So this is how it goes when you have the 4-year-old seed the arugula. Gonna have lots of arugula. The lettuce is coming up too, further down, so that's exciting. Now I'm feeling a wee bit bored, I guess you could say. I'm going to jump off the deep end here in central Maine, zone 5 on the edge of zone 4, and I'm going to plant some zucchini and summer squash seeds on April 25th, 2025. What do you guys think? I think I'm a little crazy, but if we don't get another frost, I'm gonna have zucchini and summer squash really freaking early, which is really cool too. So let's do it. You guys can scream at me from that side of the camera. It's fine, I can't hear you. You guys likely won't be very surprised to know that I'm starting seeds. We have a plant sale in like 2 weeks, and I've kind of got it in my head that I want some plants to sell. So I'm gonna start some cucumbers, probably gonna start some zucchinis, some lettuce, stuff that doesn't necessarily need to be started, but people do like to see it started and they do buy it. And it's also stuff that can get to a big enough seedling size in 2 weeks to make sense to sell it. Plus there's still like a whole 2-week span after that, like all the way to the end of the month, where people are still like buying seedlings like crazy, so it won't hurt to have some at the store to sell throughout the month of May. I want to stress the importance of being mentally and financially ready to carry your small business basically for like the whole first year, if not the whole first 2 years, because I think a lot of people underestimate the toll it takes when your business has a couple of slow months, or even a slow week can kind of put you in a bind when it comes to like a business like mine paying wholesale accounts or buying grain for the sheep or all of those things. All of those things get harder if your business is slow, and if you live in a place like me where you have pretty rugged winters, then business is gonna be slow for like a good 4 or 5 months out of the year, until you get built up to a point where your regulars are enough to sustain you through the slower months, or until you decide to just be seasonal because it's easier, it's less stressful. We're kind of on the edge of those two things. We're only into our first year. We opened in September of last year, so I'm trying to be patient with that decision and not just be like, yeah, you know what, fine, we won't be open next winter. We're gonna wait and see what happens. We're gonna see if we make enough money this summer to sustain being open in the winter, or if our regulars, the amount of regulars that we have per week that buy the basic things, goes up enough to sustain us being open in the winter. But you really have to be ready for a good amount of mental strain when it comes to opening a small business, because it will test you in all of the ways. Now, I've ran a pork business. I've sold pork direct to consumer for 8 years. We just switched from pigs to sheep. That's kind of one of the things that's kind of Dinah, what are you doing? Dinah, get down. That's kind of one of the things that's financially hard for the farm this year, is that usually this time of year we are raking it in with spring piglets because they sell like crazy up here. We don't have that this year, and we're on our last 2 pigs worth of pork to sell before we won't have any meat to sell until August. So the farm's going to take a bit of a hit while we make that transition. So that by itself is kind of hard. I have a 72 count tray right here. My neighbor he works for one of our local seed companies here in Maine. We actually have a few really well-known popular seed companies right here in the state of Maine, both of which are within like 20 minutes of me. It's really nice. But he works for one of them, and he had a bunch of seed starting supplies in his garage from forever ago. And he was like, I'm not going to garden this year, maybe not anymore. Do you want this stuff? I bet you could use it. So absolutely. So I'm going to use these 72 count trays to start the sale seedlings. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with me all this week. I'm going to try to do this every week for a while, a video per day. I'm going to skip weekends, so you won't see a video tomorrow or Sunday. But I'll be back on Monday. I appreciate you for allowing me to entertain you for a while. I hope we will chat soon. Let me know if you have any questions about seed starting in the comments so I can answer you. I know there's a lot of seed starting videos out there, so I don't really know what questions some people have or what they still need to know, but just let me know. Or gardening questions in general, or piglet questions. I raised pigs for 8 years, bred pigs for 8 years. So yeah, ask away or reach out to us on our Facebook, Wicked Quail and Pork Homestead. I don't know if it's Wicked Quail and Pork or Wicked Quail and Pork Homestead. Oh, I don't remember. It's one or the other. Either or. That's us. And we will chat soon. Happy garden season and happy homesteading.